Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Well, don't we have a lot to talk about today? I wanted to get into the issue of RM and the Olympics in Beijing. I also wanted to get into a company announcing some interesting news, and people are mad. But before we do have a sponsor for today's video, so let's roll that clip. I'm so excited to announce today's sponsor, Skillshare. The new year has entered the second month, and I want to know what everyone's New Year's goals are genuinely. And Skillshare and I want to give you something for free to maybe help you. I'll explain what that is in a bit. Whether your goals are to be a pro or learn a new hobby, everyone should learn something new or try something new. I try to do that with this channel, but for the things that I don't even know how to do, like learning to sing K-pop songs or drawing, you can go to Skillshare. And the fun part is there's so many classes and people you can learn from that if you find one person boring, you can watch another, which I mean, good luck doing that at school. On Skillshare, you have so many options and not everyone's goals are to be professional. And to be honest, most of us won't be professional at something after just 1 year, but you can still get really good. Whether you're looking to box like Jungkook or to paint like Jungkook, there's so many classes for you. For example, this one person by the name of Daniel Young who goes over the material that you would need to learn to box and how to use the stuff and teaches you how to put it on. And you'd be able to start this new hobby within just an hour. Also, there's never any ads or anything like that. Now, here is where me and Skillshare are giving you a free gift. The first 1,000 of you dumplings who use the link below will get 1 month free. Please take advantage of this. You can literally watch and learn so much for a month and not pay for it. So go down there, get that, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab the dumpling, tea spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. So, the first thing that I wanted to get into is a company announcement that is a bit crazy. Apparently, YG announced that they will also be going into NFTs and doing this stuff immediately, right away, or as soon as they can. And they announced their collaboration with a company called Binance, which specializes in this stuff. Now, if you aren't aware, Hybe did this a little while ago when they announced that they will be pursuing this new business venture, and it was met with a lot of controversy because fans were concerned for the environment, but also it makes no sense to fans given that a lot of them are younger and don't care or understand the cryptocurrency space. If you don't know what NFTs are, let me quickly explain. It stands for non-fungible tokens, which honestly makes even less sense if you don't know what it is, but it's basically a song, a video, a photo, or anything digital that can represent that artist. It can be sold for a price and it's supposed to go up in value as you keep it or trade it, and it's its own form of money. But also the idea that fans would have to pay for these photo cards but not get a physical copy of it bothered a lot of people as they removed the physical cards you can buy and it's all NFTs. When YG announced they were doing this caused backlash because NFTs take a lot of electricity to make and distribute. Like someone mentioned that an NFT can take the same amount of electricity as an art studio would consume in 2 years. And electricity does have an impact on the environment as they need to burn fossil fuel to create electricity. And this all harms the environment in some capacity. We obviously need electricity, but just limit it in areas you're able to. And NFTs are not something that is required for the world. It wasn't just this that was an issue because everyone is doing it, but the Blackpink girls had come out previously and done a speech and all that in favor of helping the environment and basically saying that we can all come together and make a change. But obviously if it was just one group, then people would assume it was just a publicity stunt or something to just make Blackpink look good. While I believe Blackpink genuinely cares about the environment, they themselves as 4 girls aren't exactly going to make a huge change on their own. It needs to come from a big company and a company that produces a lot of products. So people were more looking at the company than the girls. And it was shocking that in 2021 they announced Winner Mino's album will be released in a sustainable way, and they found sustainable methods for several other artists in their label. This gave them this tagline, to sort of speak, that they were a sustainable label, and that kind of hurt them because they're now just limited to sustainable things, even if some of those things won't help the business, i.e. NFT is a trendy thing they have to do now, so they will get backlash for joining. But a label who is never sustainable isn't going to get the same backlash for that, if that makes sense. But YG also has to make these changes because it's where the future is going and they have to get on board or fall behind. It's the worst thing a company can do, which is fall behind. It bothers me when people start attacking a company or an idol for something they do without knowing the true intention of why they did that. I think most people, when just doing things, they don't tend to think about it 3 or 4 times before doing it. They just see it as a normal thing to do and they do it. RM is an example of this, which is heartbreaking. If you don't know what happened, within the last day or so, Beijing announced that they were going to continue their Winter Olympics for 2022. I believe this is a bigger deal than before, just because I think they skipped last year or so, or maybe in 2020, I'm not entirely sure. I can't seem to find a straight answer on Google, but I would assume they did. So a lot of people were definitely tuning in. Now, if you don't know the importance of the Olympics or any big sporting event, you're probably thinking, it's just sports, what's the big deal? These sporting events represent the world. So people all around the world would compete, and it's the way to show who is the better nation. Apparently, this is more important than showing that a country has the least amount of homeless people or starving kids. Those things don't make you a better nation, apparently, but just that you have a team that has won several sporting games. Anyway, that's just how I feel about it. But there was a lot of controversy on this because apparently America, Russia, and allegedly China were all considered people who cheated during the Olympics, but China was not disqualified. So there was this idea of favoritism. The claim of why people believe China cheated are all online. I don't really know. I can't say I agree or disagree. I don't watch it, and I don't understand figure skating. Keep that in mind. I am going to stay neutral here because I am not here to insult China or anyone like that. China is very sensitive to those attacking their country because there is this sense of needing to love your country, and it's very trendy here in America to be like, oh my god, our government sucks, American sucks. But in China, if you say that, it's not the government that gets upset with you, it's the citizens that will treat you worse than they treat a murderer. And I'm not being hyperbolic here. Say Taiwan is not part of China in China and watch you be kicked. But apparently there was an issue where a Chinese player was accused of allegedly pushing another player's knee back so they could move ahead, and another shot where a Chinese player threw a black rubber marker to a player and the player fell. This was discovered probably after the game and when people looked at the footage, because it's very difficult even looking at the video without it being slowed down, and possibly even from certain angles, it would be near impossible to catch those small details because the movements are so small. So I assumed it was talked about much after the game was over. But RM apparently was tuning into the game, and he ended up posting a story in support of Korea. Now, as I said, these games represent a symbol of pride for the country, so it's natural for someone to go ahead and post about their own country and show support to their own country. RM posted a screenshot, and not a screenshot of the cheating, by the way. It was just a mid-game screenshot, and he gave it an applause and a thumbs up, and it became a huge controversy. So many Chinese netizens were mad, and they were trying to cancel him, and this took me a while to understand why, but I think I got it. Chinese netizens were upset because RM supporting the Korean players was insinuating that China did cheat by showing that he is on Korea's side. But this is ridiculous to me still, because RM is Korean. Even if the Chinese players were never accused of this, he is still not going to be on the Chinese player's side. Who would root for the other country? Y'all forgetting he's Korean? Y'all must have forgotten, because some of the comments from these netizens make no sense. People were trying to leave hate comments on RM's Instagram account, but if you have been following me and if you've been following them, you'd know that you can't comment on RM's account at all. Only the other members. And so those netizens went ahead and attacked the official BTS page, and then there were comments insulting RM, saying that he was purposely restricting comments on his page, and that if he couldn't handle the hate, don't send hate. RM didn't send hate. He supported his own country. How is that hate? Also, it shows that these people are literally jumping to conclusions. If you have not been following the boys closely ever, which is evident in the fact that you didn't know that BTS members have never had their comments open, then you have no right to judge their character and what you think RM is doing. You don't know. This bothers me so deeply as well because I see those comments too where people would insult me and not Chinese people. It's not only them. And those haters have never actually watched a video of mine, or they actually physically say they didn't understand the video. So if you don't know anything and you don't understand it, you can't judge someone then. These people also claim that RM shouldn't be an idol or that they're unstanding. Y'all were never stans. If you unstand someone for a reason like this, then unstand. You weren't going to be the person that buys their merch or support them anyway. Let me know what you think, and if you want to see more K-pop reaction videos, go to my Patreon, link below. I can't post them here due to copyright, but you can get all sorts of reaction videos and requests over there. It's a great way to support the channel even more if you would like to. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. I love you so much. There will be some videos that will pop up on screen, and I will see you over there. Bye.